Hey, what's up guys? Hope you're all having a great day. I'm your host with a beard and today I will be reviewing the Hyundai Ioniq 5 for you guys. So without further ado, let's jump right into the review. Wait, what? Hey, where are you going? What? Just kidding guys, obviously this is a feature of the Hyundai Ioniq 5 that you can control it via this key, so it can go forward and backwards, which is very handy if you want to park in and out of tight parking spots and you want to leave the car early so you don't dent your doors or scratch your doors or something. Alright guys, here we have it, the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Very excited to review this car. Immediately we can see that this has a very special design, kind of a designer design. Look at these lights. Very special, and these blocks that you see, these are the daytime running lights, and then you have the matrix LEDs inside them. Very gorgeous when you turn them on, and they have this kind of like this square design, like they have all like these little squares inside, and I will show you guys this is a theme that runs throughout the whole car. Looks very beautiful when you turn these lights on, and these two function as well as the turn signals. Very, very gorgeous design. And if you look at this part right here, this also lights up. So you see like these little lines lighting up when you turn on the headlights. It's a bit difficult visible right now, but at night you can see it very clearly, and it gives this car a very special design or appearance. Moving on to the bottom, you see these two holes here, or these two plastic bits. These open up at higher speeds to cool off the battery. This car is equipped with 20-inch rims and a very special kind of design, kind of a mosaic type of design. And you can see that the flat surface means that these are typical rims for an electrical vehicle. We see that this matrix dot design kind of continues in the turn signals, embedded in the rearview mirrors as well. Very nice, the Ioniq 5. And one neat feature is that this car is fitted with a sunroof. So basically when you park your car outside, the car just charges up, and it's not much. It's going to be like 5 kilometers or something of range that you get with it, but it's free charge, you know, and 5 kilometers is better than nothing. Moving to the back of the Hyundai Ioniq 5, we see again very clearly this dot matrix design, all these little squares here. And when you turn on the lights, it's just such a gorgeous design. Very beautiful with that LED bar running over the width of the car. Absolutely gorgeous. As we all know, this is the charging port of the Hyundai Ioniq 5. So when you hold the key, it opens up. And you see again these squares in here, and because they're lighting up, all of them, that means the car is practically fully charged. And then you simply close it by pressing this close button. As with the Kia EV6, we also see this spoiler here, and this is basically to deflect wind. So wind goes under here, so over the roof, under here, and it provides for more aerodynamics, and the spoiler has a cooler look, you know, it makes the rear of the car look much more muscular from the side. And now let's check out the interior of the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Very wide opening doors, therefore access is easy as well. We immediately see the fully electrical seats. Inside of the Hyundai Ioniq 5, first of all, we see this leather-wrapped steering wheel. Very beautiful and kind of a strange design. We don't see a Hyundai logo over here, but 4 dots. So the dots actually continue on the interior of the Hyundai Ioniq 5. These are your buttons for your drive modes here, your driver assist features, and there's your Bluetooth and your phone connectivity and everything. And this button right here changes your drive mode on the gauge cluster, fully digital of course. So when you go to sport, and once again you see all these little dots here. You see that on this side, so the dots even continue on this screen. And then you can go to eco mode and normal mode. Moving to the middle screen, or the infotainment screen, we see a very responsive, very clear, crisp screen. Very nice, very responsive to the touch. Here we go back to the home screen, and as you see, this is basically like your smartphone. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 also is equipped with a 3D camera. It's very clear, very crisp. It's a bit blurry because it's raining outside and the drops are obstructing the view of the camera a little bit. This is where you go into the 3D mode. Look how clear and how smooth this is. Check this out. Very smooth to the touch. It's basically as smooth as a smartphone. Very nice technology. And if you go over here, you can also zoom in and out for better view. Underneath, we see that the middle console has been completely separated from the dashboard. You could independently move it backwards or forwards to create more or less space. Check the two cup holders. And this provides for more leg room for you and for the passenger, because there is kind of no continuity left between the middle console and the dashboard. We have some big storage spaces in the middle console with the rubber padding. You can also open the armrest, which reveals a small cubby space, which is also rubber padded. I have my phone and my mask in here right now. The glove box has been designed in a very special way. As you can see, it opens up kind of like a drawer in a cupboard, and you can put all your stuff in here. And when you close it, it doesn't eat into any glove box space, as opposed to the ones that close upward, where you can lose a lot of space when you're putting like books and manuals and stuff in it. We have some storage spaces in the doors, not the biggest, but you have a separate compartment for your bottle, and then some small things can be put over here. So the doors are very nicely padded with this kind of soft touch material, which has this stitching right here. And this door handle kind of feels a bit flimsy and cheap, as do these buttons. Let's close up the door again, but very nice padding here, so if you rest your arm here, it's going to be comfortable. And also here we have these dot matrix type styling going further on the doors. Nice feature actually here. And these buttons control which seat you want to control with the electric control, so you can also do the passenger seat through here. Okay, so knee room, as you guys can see, I have absolutely loads of knee room because of the longer wheelbase of this car. Headspace, as you guys can see, I have about this much left. It's okay for me, there is no problem at all, even if you're 6 foot or something, but people over 6 foot might struggle just a little bit. In the rear, you even have some 2-stage heated seats. Well done, Hyundai. And because of the floor is completely flat in this car, in the rear the third seat is actually a bit usable. It's a bit firm. You do sit at a elevated position, so you can look clearly over the beautiful cockpit and the road. And now let's see how the Hyundai Ioniq 5 drives on the road. The gear shifter is here on the steering wheel, as opposed in the middle console, and very smooth start. It starts off in eco mode. The suspension is a little bit on the firm side, but nothing too uncomfortable. The steering wheel says perfectly fine in your hand. You have a nice visibility over the road. You're slightly elevated than other cars. The windshield is very large and bright and clear. Side windows are also very large and clear, and rear visibility is okay. You have a big window. Small blind spot over there, but nothing too bad. Let me take a turn here, and as in the Kia EV6, this also has the feature that when you turn left or right, it shows you the blind spot right in the gauge cluster. Very nice feature. Keep it up, Hyundai. Very smooth acceleration. I'm driving in eco mode, as I said before. Let me floor the throttle. Wow. I've seen some other reviews that say that in eco mode, when you press the throttle, it's not as responsive. You know, you don't get enough power to overtake other cars. But when I'm pressing it, I'm just being pushed in my seat. And this is just eco mode. When I put it into sport mode, then definitely you have more power available, obviously. But eco mode is fine as well. The good thing here is that the gauge cluster shows you, depending on what mode you're in, it shows you how many kilometers or what your range will be if you keep using that particular mode. So in Eco Pro mode, I have the 345 kilometers. When I go into normal mode, I have 336. And in sport mode, it drops all the way to 325. But sport mode is so much fun. This is not the all-wheel drive version, as I mentioned before. This is the rear-wheel drive version, 218 horsepower, and this is plenty for day-to-day driving. You don't need anything more than this. It feels that it has more power than 218 horsepower, but that is because it's an electric car and all the power instantly comes up when you press the accelerator. You do hear some amount of tire noise. No wind noise coming from these mirrors. Steering feel is nice and light in eco mode. When you put it in sport mode, yeah, it firms up a little bit, but it's nothing too sporty or anything, so don't expect any sporty handling or prestations from this car. Obviously, if you want that type of driving, you will pick another car. The cockpit is very roomy. It's due to this middle console being cut in half, so to speak. You have so much knee room and so much room for your foot. You do feel like you're sitting in a luxurious premium car, although this is not a premium brand, but you do feel like it because of these two screens here. And you have soft touch materials, you know, throughout the cabin. Not many scratchy plastics, maybe down there a little bit, but you're never going to touch those spaces anyway. A nice feature that I watched in another review from Doug DeMuro and that I've never would have thought about, is that this side, the left side, is kind of a magnet, and you can stick like memories and refrigerator magnets and everything on there, which is a very nice touch in this car. I will link Doug DeMuro's review down below in the description. Very nice styling as well. I like it, kind of a minimalist styling. Only thing I would change is these touch buttons. So I don't want this to be touch on my climate control, because you really have to take your eyes off the road for quite some time if you want to put on like the simple things like heated seats or a heated steering wheel. I've driven this car back to back with the EV6, Kia EV6, and it's basically the same platform. You will see it when you step into this car. The design of the Hyundai Ioniq 5 I do like better than the Kia EV6. Because from the outside it just looks beautiful with these squared up lights, 3D kind of lights, these square matrix dot that comes back throughout the car. You can even see it on the sunroof. And as with the Kia EV6, you can also put an adapter or plug an adapter in at the charging port in the rear of the car to plug in like microwaves and coffee machines and stuff like that, which is very nice. The seats are very comfortable. They're nicely padded, fully leather of course, and they will transport you in all the comfort on longer journeys as well. Hyundai says that this Ioniq 5 can do about 380 kilometers on full charge. Realistically, I would do about 340, 350, depending on what type of driving that you're doing. This car will also charge to 0 to 80% in about 20 minutes, which is still pretty fast, faster than most other electric vehicles. Okay, and now let's put the car in sport mode and see how it pulls. Wow, whew. This is only 218 horsepower and this pulls like crazy. Oh my god, I gotta be careful that I don't get a ticket here. But you have plenty of power, especially for day-to-day driving. This is more than enough. Plenty of overtaking power, and if you want even more power, go for the all-wheel drive version, which has 305 horsepower, which will be insane. Okay, so what are my final impressions about the Hyundai Ioniq 5? Well, first of all, I love the looks. I think it looks better than the Kia EV6, especially from the outside, because of those 3D kind of lights and all these dot matrix squares coming back. Looks really gorgeous. A different kind of design, different than any other EV that I've ever seen, or any other car for that matter. You have plenty of room inside in the cockpit, especially when you move this middle console to the back. You feel like you're sitting in a much larger car than it actually is. You have plenty of room in the back seats here to transport your family or friends in all the luxury and comfort you want. The boot is of a decent size to haul your baggage around. What I would avoid is the 170 horsepower rear-wheel drive version of the car, which I think will be a bit underpowered for such a heavy car. But overall, I think it's a very nice package with a lot of options that you get in the car, a lot of technological features, and I think people will be quite surprised pleasantly when they will go and test drive this car.